What is going on, everyone? Tim from Tierfon Orbital. It's long. It's going to be long. The hilt. It's called the Long Boi. What is going on, everyone? Tim from Tierfon Orbital. Today's video is going to be a long one. Okay, so that was a pun because this hilt is called the Long Boi. This is a custom one-off that was made by Adam at Kennedy Custom Props. Adam is calling this the Long Boi, and it is. It's long. It's long as shit. It's a long hilt. In fact, it's, I mean, you could almost call this a pike. This thing is huge, right? So I do want to talk about in detail what I did with the chassis on this particular install. And I obviously also want to do a demo. I mean, this hilt, it's massive. And I mean, there's a very good possibility that I'm going to hit my ceiling when screwing around with this thing and swinging the blade around. So we have to be careful with that. I can't talk today still. I don't know what's wrong with me. So we're going to have to be a little bit careful, right? But anyway, without further ado, let's come into Fusion really quick and talk about this chassis, right? Okay, here it is. Even the chassis is long, right? Plenty of room. I mean, look, like I've got a battery, the battery tray, and the Proffie board stacked on top of the battery tray, and a kill switch. I mean, this chassis is very, very long, right? I probably could have made it even longer, but yeah. Anyhow, completely unnecessary amount of greeblies along each side of this chassis. I've started doing some tube work as well along both sides. On this side, I've got a 2020 neopixel strip that is underneath this vent greebly. I also put a greebly along the spine. I cannot navigate in Fusion. I'm so bad at it. I put a, I mean, I guess you'd call this a vent or a window on the back side of this chassis. This is the first time that I've done a greebly shine through like this, and I gotta give credit where credit's due. This looks a lot like a greebly that my buddy Jeremy from KR Sabers puts on his chassis. So completely unintentional. I did not mean to jack one of Jeremy's greebly designs, but that's what ended up happening, right? So I do have a 2020 neopixel strip underneath this. We get some unique shine through these holes. There is mylar in front of both accent strips to help with a little bit of diffusion. I also set up both of these accent strips as sub blades. So this is a very large config as well for this Proffie board. So we've got 9 blades in this config. 3 blades each for the accent strips. We've got a separate blade for the crystal chamber. The crystal chamber has 2 crystals in it, a marble and a regular quartz crystal. So those are another 2 blades. And then we've got our main blade. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 blades in total. So I set both of these accent strips up as sub blades. So the first and last pixel in the line are their own blade. The center pixels are their own blade as well. Very, very large config for this particular install. So up top here, you'll notice we've got 2 holes. So the Adam cleverly added some rods at the bottom of this hilt just to assist with strength, right? So we've got a very, very long, relatively thin nipple, a very, very long chassis rather, and a very, very thin nipple. So one of the things that I appreciated that Adam did was he added some threaded rods to help with to secure the chassis in place, right? Because anytime I see a very thin nipple like this, I worry about structural integrity. So Adam adding these really, really helped, right? And that's it. Pretty straightforward, pretty long chassis. So let's come up top. It's long. It's long. It won't even fit on my desk. Look. It barely fits in frame. Look at that. God damn. That is a long, long hilt, folks. So obviously the grip is off currently, but here we go, right? So we've got a very, very beautiful etch on both sides of the hilt on these shrouds. Really, really nicely etched by Adam at Kennedy Custom Props. Believe it or not, one of the things that I appreciate most about this particular build is the switch holders. Just, you know, going to the trouble of machining brass switch holders, making sure everything fits together correctly. I mean, that is not easy. So these are the kind of small details that I appreciate. I mean, it is a beautiful hilt, but I think my favorite part are those switch holder greeblies, right? But yeah, super, super beautiful hilt. Here is our chassis. So I did a pass of pewter and silver rub and buff on this guy, and I also painted some of the accents along both sides of that Proffie board tray. And that's it, right? Accent strip is here, accent strip here. Let's turn this guy on and get a look at those accent strips, by the way. So take the flat part of your battery. Spring side is your negative. Rest of the battery in that battery tray. So this was already on. There are those neopixel strips. All right. So once you get your battery in, take this long ass grip. This is a set screw grip. So to the customer, when putting your grip on, just be a little delicate. So we've got a very, very long chassis here, right? So don't go grabbing the chassis and like holding the hilt with just the chassis. Like it's just, I say this all the time. Actually, I don't, maybe. I probably don't say it enough. But with resin chassis, they're just, when you've got a small nipple holding this chassis in place, you want to be kind of delicate with it, right? So once you get your battery in, take your grip. There are 2 holes along the spine of the hilt, right? Slide your grip all the way down until those holes line up, okay? There's a little bit of a tight feel there. I'm only going to put 1 set screw in, but there are 2 set screws. I'm going to tighten that set screw. You're ready to go. Good Lord. It's huge. I almost hit myself in the face. Jeez. All right, so we've got a marble in the bottom here and a quartz up top. Those are both independently lit with neopixels. They are set up with sub blades. So I tried to switch up the color on each blade config. Blade plug is also custom from Kennedy, from Adam. So let's come down to the bottom. Man, this thing's long. It's like a baton. I really, really like this exposed dual crystal chamber. It's just a really, really nice looking hilt. Let's see what else we put on here. Sounds great. I also, Adam from Kennedy Custom also wrapped this. It's almost like a suede. Might be a leather or a suede. Nice looking hilt. It's so long. All right. So let's try and put a blade in it, right? I'm not going to swing it around I'm not going to swing it around too much, right? This is a 1-inch blade holder. There is a set screw up top here. So let's unscrew that set screw, take the blade plug out. Another really nice detail. I mean, pretty sure that Adam machines all of the greeblies for his blade plugs. I appreciate detail like that. So 1-inch blade holder. Take your blade, rest it on those PCB pins. Did I lose the set screw? Oh no. Rest it on those PCB pins and then tighten that set screw and you're ready to go. Let's try not to hit the ceiling here. Jeez. I gotta be careful. I mean, it's almost touching my ceiling. Let's see what else we put on here.
KR Sabers.
Hey, good Lord. One more. Sounds great. I can't swing this around anymore. Great hilt. It sounds so good, this hilt. It's long. It's a long hilt. Listen, there's a D-ring on this thing. I'm not sure that you would even want to wear this on a belt. If I were to wear it on a belt, I'd have to wear suspenders. I mean, this thing is massive, right? So all joking aside, beautiful hilt. Again, I really, really love this exposed crystal chamber here. Really, really, really nice hilt. So, to the customer, thank you very much for trusting me with another one of your installs. If anyone has any questions about this particular install, or if you have any comments about my process, please do not be a stranger. Feedback really, really helps me. So yeah, reach out. Anyhow, that's all I got, folks. Thank you for sticking around. This was a long one, as I said. And with that being said, may the force be with you always. Have a good one, everybody.